Life Unrehearsed, brought to you by Lianas Senior Transition Support, helping you navigate home care and senior residences.
And welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. I'm Matt Del Vecchio, specializing in elder care planning and the senior living industry. Thank you for tuning in on a relatively mild Sunday ahead of the rain tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be warm. Boy, all that snow is going to be melted in 24 hours. And you know, boy, is it ever dark outside. Sunset official today. The sunset was at 4:13 p.m. That was just a little while ago, about 20 minutes ago. Well, Life Unrehearsed, as many of our listeners know, is about looking at the positive side of things despite those curveballs being thrown your way. So how about this? In just 4 more days, it's December 21st, which is our winter solstice when it takes place, the shortest day of the year. So that's right, days will start getting longer in just a few more days. So hang in there, you got this. And just a few more days and those sunsets get a little longer. So as many of our listeners know, I'm in the business of supporting older adults in their life transitions. And it could be either for elder care planning, transitioning from home into, let's say, a senior living community, whether it's independent living, assisted living, memory care, or long-term care. And what I've seen since the pandemic is that couples or individuals, they want to stay at home longer. They want to age in place, is what it's known as, for as long as they possibly can. Well, sometimes there is no choice where you have to move due to health reasons, but there are advancements in technology that are allowing people to age in place longer. So let's bring in an expert in the field of home care and aging in place to find out a little more. Joining me in studio is Jeremy Altman. Jeremy is the CEO of Equinoxe LifeCare. Jeremy, welcome to Life Unrehearsed.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, Jeremy, thank you for coming in. Boy, I've been waiting for this for a while. You really have the heartbeat of those wanting to age in home with home care and the technology that's out there. But let's first start with medical alert systems. They are becoming more popular as our population ages. And so can you explain what a medical alert system is?
Yes. Thank you for inviting me today. So personal emergency response systems have been around for quite some time. They are designed to support you with the right help or assistance that you need, mostly in reaction of an emergency. So for example, in case of a fall or an issue to your health or your safety, the systems are there to signal the emergency and send an alert for someone to assist you. There are many forms of that help, from alerting a list of contact or getting an emergency medical response.
All right. So at the 30,000-foot level, it is designed to help you if you're in trouble. And there are different types of medical alert systems. There's wearables and non-wearables. So, Jeremy,
Correct.
I want to start with the wearables. So give us a couple of examples of what a wearable medical alert system is.
Yeah, so we are living at a very interesting time right now. Form factors are evolving rapidly, and I'm very excited to contribute to this change. The most common wearables are the pendants, bracelets, and necklaces that you just mentioned. They are very popular with seniors today. Most of these devices, they require you to push a button in the event of a fall or an emergency. Some can detect it as the fall happens if you're wearing it. Then you have the smartwatches, the fitness trackers. These are the new entrants in the wearable category. They can be very effective as well to alert someone or call 911 on your behalf. And I would also put in the wearable category the GPS trackers. They could be repurposed nowadays to locate a senior who's at risk of wandering.
Yeah, that's becoming more and more popular with the GPS trackers, the air tags, and so on. And so obviously, I mean, you've mentioned a few of the advantages. What are some of the main advantages of wearable technology?
I would say the first advantage of a wearable is that it follows you. It goes everywhere with you in the home as long as you're wearing it. And some can even work outside as well. The other advantage of a wearable is that, and sometimes it gets unnoticed, by the way, it pushes you to be engaged in your own health. So it can result in a boost of confidence for you to get more active.
Interesting, yes. Listening to Life Unrehearsed, Matt Del Vecchio, and I'm talking about aging at home and the advancements of wearables and non-wearable technologies with Jeremy Altman, CEO of Equinoxe LifeCare. So we talked about some of these advantages. There are some disadvantages to wearables. Let's hear a couple.
Well, there are many. First, you need to wear them, and many people tend to be very forgetful about the device. Seniors don't often wear them at night or in the shower, but guess what? Most problems happen at that time, so this is the first biggest challenge to me. The second problem is that some seniors accept to have a wearable just to please their children. But since they don't feel great wearing it and somewhat ashamed of the device, they don't use it as much as needed. Then you have the battery. The battery is a big issue. You need to recharge or charge the device very often. And that's a huge limitation to the purpose itself. Some of these devices have been around for quite some time, and to be honest, they lack some modern technology and they are not very accurate to detect a soft fall, for example, or a call for help. What bothers me the most right now is that these wearables are mostly passive, which means the device waits for you or for something to happen to get triggered. And I would say wearables are a good start, but not good enough for your own care plan.
And this is what is exciting now, and what's developing is these non-wearables, Jeremy. So I want to get into that because it's the future, and I'd like. Can you give our listeners some examples of non-wearables when it comes to medical alerts?
You're spot on. So new technologies have emerged in the last couple of years, and turns out that you don't need to wear a device at all to be safe. Think about sensors for example. It's a very old technology that is widely used for home security systems. And a couple of companies came in and added a new software layer that are turning sensors into smart devices. These sensors now can detect patterns out of the ordinary events and falls just by understanding the context. You're in the living room or on the ground, and it gets triggering the devices. It's great because for the first time, it allows preventative care in a seamless way. On our end, we launched a care safety device named LifeCare Plus, and it works with acoustic. It gets triggered by keywords and key sounds to alert our care team 24/7. There is nothing to wear. You just plug it in the wall and the device keeps you safe around the clock. You don't need to interact at all with the device.
Talking with Jeremy Altman, CEO of Equinoxe LifeCare, about some of this exciting technology regarding medical alerts. We're all used to kind of the help I fall and I can't get up type wearables. You need to be wearing those pendants, bracelets, and they work and they're good, and technology is advancing on that side of it. But this non-wearable, Jeremy, is really exciting me because it's an added layer. And so if I understand correctly, you're just plugging something into the wall, and now we've got this constant monitoring. There could be different places where these sensors are. But I guess some examples would be if mom is going to the washroom in the middle of the night, typically once a night, all of a sudden these sensors are picking up, wait, she's going 4 or 5 times a night. You would not know that with a wearable, but with this non-wearable technology, is that the idea here?
This is exactly it. So the beauty of the non-wearables is that it goes beyond calls for help or faults. It can pick up so much more. A risk of a UTI, as you just mentioned it, a respiratory infection, a suspicion of a medical or medication error. This is what we are talking about, being super preventative and coaching you on your own health.
All right, and we got to wrap up very quickly, but this is new right now. You are already ahead of the game looking down the road, year 2, 5 years down the road. Can you tease us a little bit about what are some of these technological advancements that are coming down the road here?
So the way I look at technology for home healthcare is very similar to what happened in retail and banking, where I spent most of my career before home care for 20 years. 25 years ago, for your day-to-day banking operations, you would mostly visit the branch or the ATM or call the bank. Nowadays, you do all of that on your cell phone or on a tablet, and you're very happy with that, of that convenience. Same in retail. With the advent of e-commerce, we all got used to online shopping, and while stores are very popular nowadays, especially for the holidays, we all appreciate the convenience of receiving a delivery at home. This revolution has not happened in home health. This is what is happening, and I'm so happy and proud to be part of that revolution. Technology brought convenience to your home. So you can bank at home, you can shop at home, and now you can take care of your own health at home.
Very, very exciting. Talking with Jeremy Altman, CEO of Equinoxe LifeCare. Jeremy, we have to head out to traffic, but I want you to stick around. A lot of what you bring to the table is related to home care. You do a lot of speaking engagements to inform people about what's available in the public system, what's available private. There are tax credits that we might not even know about. So if you don't mind, stick around.
Life Unrehearsed, brought to you by Lianas Senior Transition Support, helping you navigate home care and senior residences.
And welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. Matt Del Vecchio here. There's a little Elvis for you, one of the best versions of My Way, in my humble opinion. And my way indeed. People want to do things on their own terms, and older adults want to age in place for as long as they possibly can. And I'm talking with Jeremy from Equinoxe LifeCare. Jeremy, thank you so much about those wearables and non-wearables. Really exciting, where this industry is going. And Jeremy, I want to move it on a little bit to a big part of your world. And talking with Jeremy Altman, CEO of Equinoxe LifeCare, a lot of home care. You've got a lot of caregivers out there taking care of people day in and day out. And, there's a lot of questions and unknowns out there about public and private. So you do a lot of speaking engagements, and I want to let our listeners know a little bit more. Can you tell us the difference between public and private home care?
That's a great question. So when you look at statistics, more than 92% of seniors hope to live in their home independently for as long as possible. But if you don't want to move into a long-term facility, you have three main options in Quebec. You can mix and match, by the way. One, receiving public support organized by the government, by your CLLC. Two, receiving private home care provided by home care specialists like Equinoxe LifeCare. And three, hiring your own private workers. You can hire them directly and you self-manage your care plan. I think the best is always to combine the options to best meet your own care expectations, and you can there mitigate the pros and cons of each. I'm a true believer that public and private need to work together, so it's the most efficient combination. So to answer your question, the main difference between public and private is around accessibility, availability, and choice. Let me just explain that. Accessibility, because with public services, it's free to use, each senior is to receive equal access in principle, and private home care means it's privately paid by the family. Not everyone can do that. So while we often complain about our healthcare system here, just to be fair, it's amazing that we live in this country and we have this free home care available in the first place. Second, availability, because within the public home care system, you basically wait twice. First, to get an assessment done. Second, once the assessment is done by a social worker, you need to wait to receive care. And third, about choice, because in the public system, you are a beneficiary and you are a user, and in most cases, you're not really in control of selecting who's going to visit you in your home, who's going to take care of you. Whereas in the private sector, it's a bit of a different experience because you're the client. So that's about the main difference.
So I want to expand a little bit about, and whenever I talk home care or waiting to get into long-term care, the text board lights up because it's obviously, it's challenging. I think the government is trying to do the best they can. Certainly the workers are doing the best they can with limited resources. 100%. We're going to see with Bill 15, Santé Quebec, who knows what we're going to get, but it has to get better. The wait for home care has doubled since 2019. And so what are some of the challenges that you're hearing from your clients about some of the challenges with the public health care? Because like you say, it's free, it's good, we're very lucky. We have to step back sometimes and really look at what we've got, but there are challenges, aren't there?
So, yeah, of course. Let me also take that high-level helicopter view. The first challenge is really demography. Canadian aged 85 plus are expected to triple between now and 2050, according to Statistics Canada. So public waitlist won't be eliminated anytime soon. It might take another generation to get there. Mm-hmm. So we need to be really understanding that. The second challenge is transformation. With the current shortage of staff and the expected growth of our senior population, there is just no other option than to integrate technology and innovation in home care to support our seniors. And when you look at what's happening right now in the public sector, it's undergoing its own transformation, organizational transformation. So I find it a bit difficult to integrate innovation in the care journey right now. So we touched on a few of the issues about delay and control. There is just one way I'd like to mention for our listeners to control back your care plan. It's through Chèque Emploi Service, CES. Chèque Emploi Service is an amazing program by the CLLC where you're getting in control of your own care. If I'm evaluated for 10 hours of care weekly, I can choose my worker and the worker get paid directly by the government. And I'm not on that wait list that we discussed. So that's one way. It's not ideal, but it's already there and it's great.
Yeah, and Chèque Emploi is one of those interesting government programs. They're going to pay about $19 and change for the hours that you get. You
Correct.
get to hire your own caregiver, which is good. Most of the time you have to top it off because trying to find a caregiver at $19 is very difficult. And there are some bureaucratic issues to deal with. We hear about all the time to try to get that money. The government has to improve that process. But again, stepping back, it's a good thing. You know, the government's recognizing we can't get caregivers. Maybe we can support the public sector, hire your own caregivers. So now, if someone wants to hire private home care, and you've mentioned right off the bat, not everyone, we acknowledge, not everyone can afford private home care, but if someone wants to consider private home care, what's that process like?
How do you get started? By the way, it's great to combine public and private again. Huh? So let's say you have 10 hours of free home care in Quebec. Maybe you need another 5 or 10 and you'd like to go private. Starting private home care is as simple as placing a phone call to a home care agency like Equinoxe LifeCare. We developed a fast-track system to understand your needs, your priorities, and we match that with the right caregivers. Private home care is very flexible. You can update or change your schedule and change caregivers as you see fit. And I would always recommend go with a home care company that offers no commitment, no minimum hours. When you go for private home care, you deserve to be in that control and of your care journey, and you should be able to start, pause, continue, or stop at any point in time. And I would also recommend to confirm that that home care partner or company that you choose only hires certified caregivers that have the right experience for your individual needs.
You're listening to Life Unrehearsed, Matt Del Vecchio, and that's the voice of Jeremy Altman, CEO of Equinoxe LifeCare. We're talking about the difference between public and private home care. Jeremy, we have to wrap up very quickly, but we talked about private home care can be expensive. A lot of people don't realize, though, there are some really interesting government tax credits, aren't there?
Yes, and there are many, and you should maximize them. My first comment, please speak with your accountant or your financial advisor. It can become a bit complex to navigate all the programs, the criteria, the deadlines. But just to give you a few examples, in Quebec, there are 4 main programs. You have at a federal level 3 other programs, and it's not one size fits all. Some kick in when you turn 70 years old. Some are specific to a disability or work interruption. In Quebec, the most popular program is the tax credit for home support services for seniors. As of January 2024, you will be able to receive 38% of your first $25,000 of expenses, and that's almost $10,000 in tax credit. At a federal level, there is something similar with the attendant care, and it's also amazing.
You know, like you say, if you're not sure, this is very quickly, we talked a couple of them, but you're talking thousands of dollars that we don't want you to leave on the table. Talk to your home care company, talk to your accountant or financial advisor. Jeremy, we have to wrap it up. Thank you very much. Such an informative session. Really appreciate it. How can people get a hold of Equinoxe LifeCare?
Best ways to reach out to us is to call or text our bilingual care team at 514-935-2600. I repeat, 514-935-2600. We are at your side day and night. Just think of Equinoxe LifeCare as an extra grandchild. Our team is made of passionate care managers, and we are open 24/7. You can visit our website, equinoxelifecare.com. Equinoxe LifeCare.com.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much for coming in here right in studio with me on a Sunday. That's Jeremy Altman, CEO of Equinoxe LifeCare. Jeremy, do me a favor. Give regards to Danny Pollock. She is a real visionary, someone I have a ton of respect for, a visionary in the home care and virtual health industry. Please give her my best.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to Life Unrehearsed. And as a reminder, for all your inquiries or assistance with life transitions, elder care planning, and the senior living industry, it'd be my pleasure to help. You can find out more if you look up Lianas Senior Transition Support. That's Lianas, Lianas, Senior Transition Support. And many thanks to our technical producer, Maxim. You can listen to Life Unrehearsed here on CJD 800 every Sunday at 4 p.m.